Afternoon. My pleasure to be here. The certain fundamental reports were taken at the Senate today. Uh, Part of it has to do with the conference committee report on the Petroleum Industry Bill 2021. As you are all aware, the bill was passed by the Senate and the House of Representatives, and there were differences in the version that were passed as to certain sections of the bill. And as is known practice, when you have a bicameral legislature, there will be a conference committee of equal representation of the two houses to agree as to some of the areas where there have been divergent provisions. Today, the report of the committee on the Petroleum Industry Bill was presented, and it was considered and approved by the Senate. The implication of this is that the Petroleum Industry Bill has passed through all the necessary process as far as the National Assembly is concerned, remaining for the President to give assent to the bill. So as far as the long trajectory and history of PIB is concerned, at least as far as the main Senate is concerned, we have gotten to a position that we're expecting the assent of Mr. President to the bill. Then, of course, the report of the Independent National Commission on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill was also considered, and it was also passed by the Senate, subject to certain minor amendments. You must have been aware that one of the high points of the amendment that has to do with the issue of transmission of results electronically. And it is very important to say that there was a voice vote on an amendment that was proposed by the Deputy Chief Whip, which is to the effect that the Commission may consider electronic transmission of results provided the national network coverage is adjudged to be adequate and secure by the National Communication Commission. This was put to voice vote, and it was accepted by the majority. However, another senator proposed that the original recommendation of the committee should be upheld by the Senate. The original recommendation reads that the Commission may transmit results of elections by electronic means where and when practicable. This was also put to voice votes, and the President of the Senate adjudged that it was rejected by majority of the nay voters. Of course, in line with Order 73 of the Standing Orders of the Senate, the minority leader called for a division, and notwithstanding that we had an executive session to see how this matter can be looked at and resolved as part of the house cleaning orders, he insisted that there should be a division. And of course, in line with the procedure, a division was called. At the end of the division, there are supposed to be 108 votes, because the Senate President only has a casting vote, being the number 109. Of course, of these, 28 people have been voted in favor of the recommendation that the results may be transmitted by electronic means where and when practicable. However, 52 people voted to reject this amendment, and of course, with the implication supporting the earlier agreed to amendment that results may be transmitted electronically, provided the national network coverage is adjudged to be adequate and secure by the National Communication Commission and presented to the National Assembly. At the end of the exercise, 80 senators voted, and the vote was in favor of retaining the original amended fashion, which is that yes, results could be transmitted electronically, but it must be with certification as to security and adequacy of the network coverage by National Communication Commission. The other innovations in the Electoral Act that was also subject of serious debate was as to the period for which primaries for election ought to be concluded. The original proposition was for 180 days. There was a suggestion that was initially carried to reduce it to 120 days, but then it was voted upon again, and the original 180 days recommendation was approved by the Senate on the ground that that would give enough room to resolve pre-election matter ahead of the election, so that we don't have a situation whereby the certainty of candidature will still be a matter that is in controversy before the election. And of course, the card reader has now been officially recognized under the Electoral Act for the purpose of accreditation, and the INEC has now been given the power to determine the mode of conducting election, and this has also been recognized to include electronic voting. Then in terms of offences created, there are also wide-ranging offences to ensure integrity of the electoral process. When it comes to voting and accreditation, polling agents are now allowed to object to the right to vote if they have reasonable reason to believe that those persons are not registered voter in those polling units. Then also to ensure tidiness in the regime of using polling agents, political parties are expected to submit to submit the names and the details of their polling agents at least 14 days before the date of the election, including photograph and specimen signature. This will avoid controversy as to whether agents attested to the result or otherwise. Those are the key points that has been done. And in terms of challenging election, of course, it has to be on the basis of provision of the Electoral Act and not necessarily any directive or guideline of the commission will be a basis to invalidate an election. I think that's the broad brush of what transpired at the Senate today. And of course, we are adjourned till 5 p.m. so that we can take the votes and proceedings, because we are proceeding on summer recess, so that the proceedings will be authenticated for necessary further legislative processing and action, particularly on the Petroleum Industry Bill and the Electoral Act. I think that's my summary of my brief.